Willie Nelson didn't just sing about freedom, he lived it. His entire life was a quiet rebellion against conformity, a gentle but firm stand against the pressures of fame and fortune. His personal code was simple: live with intention, love with everything you've got. Work hard, and always, always speak your truth. You won't find stories of Willie in a sprawling mansion. He chose a modest life on his ranch in Luck, Texas. He drove old trucks, wore the same clothes for years, and gave away so much of what he earned. When people asked why he didn't embrace the typical celebrity lifestyle, his answer was pure Willie. I don't need more than I have. I've got music, family, and a clear conscience. This wasn't some false humility. It was a conscious choice or rejection of excess in favor of what truly matters. In a world obsessed with wealth and status, Willie chose peace over power and connection over control. And in doing so, he became a beacon, not just for musicians, but for anyone searching for a more authentic way to live. Now, let's talk about the plant. For Willie Nelson, cannabis was never just a recreational habit. It was a spiritual tool, a form of medicine, and a political statement. He first smoked it at 17, working in the fields, and later said it helped him see the beauty in everything: the sky, the grass, the way people move. But his advocacy truly ignited after a night spent in an Alabama jail in 1977 for possession. That experience radicalized him. By the 80s, he was one of the most visible champions for decriminalization. In 2015, he didn't just talk the talk. He launched Willie's Reserve, a legal cannabis brand built on quality, sustainable farming, and social justice. He believes the war on marijuana has ruined countless lives, especially among the poor and marginalized. As he once put it, marijuana is not a drug, it's a plant. And it's been healing people since before we had words. To this day, that small bag of weed he carries is more than just personal use. It as a symbol of lifelong resistance. In 1985, a national crisis was unfolding across America's heartland. Family farmers were losing everything. Debt, corporate greed, and failed government policies were forcing families off the land they'd worked for generations. After hearing John Mellencamp speak about their plight, Willie knew he had to act. Alongside Mellencamp and Neil Young, he co-founded Farm Aid. The mission was straightforward: keep family farmers on their land. Since its first concert, Farm Aid has raised over $60 million, held annual benefit shows with legendary artists, and provided direct grants to struggling farmers. But Willie didn't just lend his name to the cause, he became its heart. He toured relentlessly, spoke at rallies, and used every interview to hammer home a simple, powerful truth: if you eat, you're involved in agriculture. Even into his 90s, you could find him headlining the festival, sitting on a stool with his trusted guitar, Trigger, singing as the sun set. Farm Aid isn't just a concert, it's a movement, and Willie Nelson is its soul. Willie Nelson's genius wasn't just in his own music, but in his incredible ability to connect with others. He saw music not as a competition, but as a conversation. This collaborative spirit is why his influence stretches far beyond the boundaries of country music. Think about it. He created a gospel country masterpiece with the legendary Ray Charles. He bridged genres with Latin pop icon Julio Iglesias. He even found a kindred spirit in Snoop Dogg, bonding over music and shared advocacy. And of course, there were the Highwaymen, with Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Kris Kristofferson. It wasn't just a supergroup, they were brothers on the road. From his daughter-in-law Norah Jones to lifelong friend Dolly Parton, his list of collaborators is a who's who of musical greatness. What made it all work? Willie's humility. He never tried to steal the spotlight, he shared it. As Kris Kristofferson perfectly said, Willie doesn't dominate, he listens. He elevates others. Beyond the stage, Willie is a writer in the truest sense. He's authored over 10 books, weaving together memoir, philosophy, and humor with that same simple, direct, and soulful style you hear in his songs. His 1988 autobiography was a raw, honest look at his life. The Tao of Willie blended Eastern philosophy with his own brand of country wisdom. He's even published poetry, sometimes scribbled on napkins backstage. One of his poems, Homeless, was so poignant it was read in Congress during a debate on poverty. Willie proved that truth isn't confined to a single medium. Whether sung, spoken, or written, it's still truth. Though he never stood at the front of a classroom, Willie Nelson has been a mentor to countless young artists. He taught them through his actions, his generosity, and his unwavering authenticity. His own sons, Lucas and Micah, carry on his legacy with their own unique innovation. Artists like Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers, and Margot Price all credit Willie with showing them that being true to yourself matters more than being polished. He didn't give lectures, he led by example. He'd invite young musicians to play at Farm Aid or join impromptu jam sessions at his ranch. His advice to a young singer perfectly captures his philosophy. Don't try to sound like me, just be honest. That's the only thing people remember. And with those simple words, he passed the torch. So why does Willie Nelson still matter so profoundly today? Because truth is timeless. A voice that sings from the soul never really fades. Willie matters because he refused to pretend. He didn't hide his flaws or sugarcoat the struggles of life. He sang it all loud, clear, and beautiful. In doing so, he gave a voice to millions who felt unseen and unheard. The man himself may one day leave this world, but Willie Nelson will never truly be gone. He lives on in the strum of his guitar, trigger on a quiet back porch. He's in that perfect silence just before the final note of Blue Eyes crying in the rain. He's in the tears of a fan hearing on the road again for the very first time. He's in the strength of a farmer singing his songs while working the land. He wasn't a perfect hero or a saint. He was a man flawed, brilliant, and brave enough to sing his truth. And in doing that, he became immortal. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this.